That one is a challenge, and it has come even before I wanted to start. But I just want to say, as I start, to the chaplain, who is Reverend George Kahuho, church elder, who is also here, committee members present, head teacher, teachers, parents, non-academic members of staff, pupils, ladies and gentlemen. Can I say good morning? Where I sit, normally, when I say good morning and I'm a teacher, I really want the morning to be good. Even if it is not good, just assume that it is, and we shall move to the next level. Can I say again, good morning? You know, it makes me feel good when you say good morning and you reply to me. I want to start by the question which was put by the chaplain, Reverend George Kahuho, that I did not know this place until I remembered that we had one person called our MC. I knew her long time ago when she was teaching my children, and that was way back 1990. When she moved out in 1993, I could not believe that I could continue being in that particular school. I really wanted to follow her where she went. But some people stopped me and told me, now, let her go and we release her in good faith. Since 1993 up to now, we have never met. And when I met with her, she still praises God. And you know, that is the beauty of it. That particular time, we were members of our Deliverance Baptist Church. And then she moved over, she came here. Then I've seen also a very energetic lady now who is our MC. I want myself to say that I want to again to start by congratulating the school. Given what I've heard is that you have done extremely well because you have been competing and you have been also been beating the other schools. With that one, I think we can put our hands together to congratulate the school in a big way. Then, before I go to my real one, I've heard, and in fact, even when I was here, I checked on the boys and how many of them who participated. And I said, there is something that we are losing here. Boy child, quite a number of them. My training is that I am a sociologist by training, and I'm also a teacher. But I looked at the number of boys who came to the front. They were just hiding behind the girls. And I said, there is something that we really need to do. And we don't do it tomorrow. We do it now. We find out, why is it that they are not coming to the front? You know, really, it's a very big challenge. It's for all of us, and I will be able to talk about CBC, and I will, if possible, I'll be able to tell you what you can be able to do to push them to the front. Because if we don't, then we have no future in this nation. I want also to say that I spoke with the chaplain, Reverend. And when he called me, he told me he wants me to talk only about CBC. Then I said, what will I talk about when I come here? And I hope I will succeed. I want first to say myself, I'm a dean of a school that produces teachers. And I want to say that where I sit, we have students who are around 25,000 under me. Teachers, 25,000. Lecturers who are under me, they're about 500. So you can even see where I sit. I have to make decisions touching on people. Number two, I want also to say that I was privileged when I was appointed to attend or to be a committee member at KICD. So when CBC was being prepared, I was there. TSC, that I will be able to talk about, I've been consulting. So I really understand what this CBC is all about, and I hope I will be able to communicate the information. When I was told about this, I tried to reflect on how I will be able to present it to you, and I hope I will be able to manage. Quite a number of people, and even I've asked about even CBC to my very own lecturers, to the teachers I meet on the way. And surprisingly, quite a number of them, they do not know what CBC is all about. CBC is totally different from the way we have been doing things. But I want first to be able to tell you the difference between CBC and 844. Because quite a number of us, when we hear of CBC, we only think about 844. And quite a number of us, it is so important at this level for us to be able to understand the difference between the two. And I will just put a few highlights on the two, if you can be able to listen to me. Number one is that CBC 844, it was emphasizing on only teaching, pumping of materials to the pupils, whether they understand or not. That was 844. CBC, it focuses on practical learning. The other one is a total departure. And by the time I finish, I want us to be able to understand that the two are totally different. One, 844, it was dealing with the pumping of materials. And the students at the end, when questions are put to them, they are expected to reproduce the materials. They are expected to reproduce the knowledge that they acquired. They memorize for them to be able to produce. This one, totally different because it deals with the practical learning, where they are taught, where they are encouraged to understand, to be able to apply the knowledge to a real situation. That is where there is a difference. And I want you to get it well. Number two, 844, it was focusing, and you have heard of what the minister has all along been saying, on examination, examination, examination. And now I'm happy that the principal here said that you have been doing so well. I have no problem with that. But this one, it deviates a bit because it talks about achievement. Because 844 was talking about academic, but this one, it talks about now acquisition of skills. What is it that we want our pupils or our students to understand? Are they able to apply those skills to a real situation? Before it was a certificate, certificate, certificate. But now the deviation is that we want to have skills. We want to give them something that at the end we can be able to see whether they can be able to demonstrate that they understand it. Another one, the difference, because it's so important that you get the difference. So that at least even when you walk out, and I heard from the principal that some teachers will still be coming here to benchmark. When they come, tell them that it is not a competition. It is different. It is not a competition between schools. It is the 844. It was school A competing with the school B. And that is how we lost it. This one, it is collaboration. That you find if you are in a class and you are a teacher and you can be able to perform better than another teacher in another class, you bring that particular teacher to your class so that at least that teacher can be able to learn from you. Because at the end, credit comes to all of you. That is what we call collaboration. Schools that now are thinking of competing, that they miss the mark. And I want you to get it so well so that at least even when you talk to the others, and I told you that I was there when it was being brewed. We are saying competition is not healthy. Competition is not good. That is what 844 had. This one, we want collaboration where people can be able to work together. The other one is that it was not 844 was not emphasizing on career, on talents, on identification of talents. It was dealing with exam. This one is where, and that is the collaboration that we want, is where now the teachers will be able to identify certain talents and then nurture them. So you can see There is a difference. And the last one, because I will come to the real one on what parents will have to do, what the teachers will have to do, what the pupils will have to do. The last one, 84.4, the part of the parents. It was minimal. It was so minimal that some parents did not even bother going to school. It was so minimal that even parents were not requested to do anything, besides paying of school fees. But the new one, CBC, Mpende Musipende, those ones, I know you look so old. You heard of a politician in Mombasa who was, kila wakati alikuwa anasema, Mpende Musipende, you have to be involved throughout. That is where there is a difference. 84.4, minimal. But this CBC, you have really to be truly involved in what is going on. I want you to get the difference, because with the difference, we'll be able to move to the next level. Are we talking? Because when you are involved as a parent, when you are involved as a guardian, when you are involved, CBC will succeed. If you are not involved, then CBC in this particular school, in this particular country, it will fail. And even as I continue, parents, they will have to find the time to be with their children, to find the time to understand what these children are capable of doing. And then from there, they will be able to work with the teachers. But before then, I want to briefly, because I want to touch on all, but generally I wanted to say this, that CBC and 84.4, they are two different things and they are not the same. I want to say, having said that, I want to talk about teachers. What is expected of teachers? And they are here. And that is now, I earn my salary by teaching teachers. And I hope that by the end of this one, they will be able to understand that it's a totally different ballgame together. Teachers, they are employed by TSC. And those ones who are not employed by TSC, it's not like before. The Constitution of 2010 has totally changed the mathematics. The teachers are supposed to be registered, whether they are in public or private. When they are registered, if they teach and they are not registered, then that is a criminal offense. TSC, what has it done so that at least we can be able to understand this? And to the benefit of the small ones, is that it has come up with what it calls Kenya teaching standards. It has come with, I want you to get this, because it is so important for all of us. Because now the ground has really changed. There is a shift in that now TSC, which now registers teachers, wherever they are, they will be coming to monitor on whether they are doing what is expected of them. And it has come up with the Kenya teaching standards. And these standards, I will just mention a few of them for the teachers to understand, the parents to understand, because this is a collaboration. This is for all of us to be able to do it together. Number one is that teachers are supposed really to demonstrate ability or professionalism. Teachers are supposed really to demonstrate the aspect of communicating to the learners. And you have even seen, and I'm happy the head said it, that they are ahead. I was able, even as I was walking, these children, they were even greeting me. That is part of what we really want. We don't want when children see their teachers, they run away. So teachers, professional standards. Number one, I will just highlight on a few of them, that they have to demonstrate professionalism, that they have to be too professional. And when you are professional, what does it mean? That you have to be honest. You have to treat pupils with a lot of respect. Even if a child comes from a well-to-do family, even if a child comes from a poor background, you have to treat that particular child with respect. That is professional standards. Number two, teachers. I will still come to parents, but I just want to highlight a few. That teachers are supposed to be full-time learners. And this is the bit that I like. You know, as I walk around and I see teachers, I know for sure that I will not lose a job, because they are there and they are supposed to learn throughout until they retire. That is what professional standards talks about. Those teachers who are not registered at the university, they had better do it, because they are supposed to learn until they do what? Until they retire. Is it not something good? For the parents, because now your children will be handled by teachers who are in the know. In fact, even this one, this standard, if I were you, I would even clap for what TSC has done. Because really, you can't just sit there and teach with the old knowns that you were taught when you were at college. This time around, TSC is saying that we want you to read for you to be able to have an impact on your students. And that is why when I look at it, nainua mikono juu nasema Mungu wangu, this is how it's supposed to be done. Next one, still under this teacher this professionalism, is that teachers have to conform to confidentiality. That all the time, even if they know this particular child is not good at all, they should not say it. Look at the medical doctors, although some of them are quacks, but look at the medical doctors. You go there and for sure they know you are dying. And then you go there and you tell them, now I have this. Even if they meet you with your wife, even if they meet you with your husband, they will not reveal that this one next minute will go to the maker. This is what we want to hear from the teachers. That when they are dealing with their pupils, they have to keep secret. Standard number 2 is that they have to know methods of communication, methods of teaching, and teaching effectively. Tuko pamoja? They have is a standard expected by the employer, by the team, even those ones who are in private and public. They have to know the best methods of teaching. If they are forgotten, because it's supposed to be long life, they are supposed to go for some more. Next on this one is, it is important for them as a talent and as a standard to identify the talents of the young ones. Let me give you this particular example, if you allow me, because I was only given 10 minutes and I've cleared only 1 minute. And it is so important for all of us to get it right, because if we get it wrong, we shall lose a generation. That teachers must be able and must learn how to identify talents. I want to give you a simple example of what I saw when I went to one country. When we went there, we found the totals like this. They were not in class. And that is where parents should come in. Where now the management should come in to be able to walk the talk even now. When I went there, I found those small ones, they could be dropped at school in the morning by their parents. Are you with me? Because this is so crucial for all of us, including myself. That they could be dropped in the morning and then they don't proceed to class. CBC, where we want participation of all of us. Dropped in the morning, then at the entrance, they find so many activities. They find probably one as a heap of sand, water, tires, whatever it is, stones, and the others. When I went there, I stayed there for almost 6 hours because I wanted to see how is this CBC done. I could be able to see on arrival, the children would come. Then, because of their interests, some of them would go to scooping of the sand, small tractors. Others would go to where stones are. They start constructing. Others would go to where wires are to show wiring. Others would use now the ropes, and others would keep on playing. Now, when you look at this, because I wanted to know, these are different interests. Don't force them. Even if you want them to become medical doctors, don't force them. Even if you want them to become teachers, don't force them. See their interest and their talent. So on arriving there, these children, I realized that there are some who are consistent, going to the sand, scooping it with small tractors. There was others who were consistent, watering the grass. Others were even consistent, trying to help others. That is what CBC is all about. And it is for all of us. At home, you see their interest. You say at home when this one comes, likes preparing food. That is a skill. At home, one prefers now playing with the wires. That is engineering. One really wants to repair this and to repair the other one. Don't force, but it is for you to identify the talent. And then after that, at home, parents are supposed really to inform the teachers, and the teachers are also supposed to inform the parents, because it's a collaboration, it's a joint effort, so that finally you can be able to produce what you want. It's a standard that TSC, when it comes around, the teachers should be able to show that at least they have been able to identify. But they can't identify without the parents. I don't know whether I'm making myself so clear, because it's so important that you have to play your role. If you are not at home all the time, and I like men, because they disappearance act from home. And in fact, I'm also a man, and I'm just saying this. Although we are saying boy child is a problem, at home men do a disappearance act. They just come when the children are asleep. When you ask them the talent, the interest of this one, what will they tell you when they come at night and they wake up when the children are still asleep? So this is to say that we have to have a paradigm shift in the way we do things. The mothers and the fathers must join hands for them to be able to move to the other one. So pedagogy is the method of teaching these new skills. It's not business as usual. Another standard that teachers are supposed to play is that the teachers should be able, because the assessment is totally different. How we were assessing before is not the way we shall be assessing this time round. We want to see their skills. We want to see when they are given a task, when they are told, now you are at home, can you clean plates? Can you clean this? How they are doing it. The teachers should be able to assess them, and the assessment is different. The other one is that the teachers, as they continue, should involve the learners. Before, it was the teacher alone and the teaching alone, and at the end, and I like that one because I go out to check on what teachers do alone and ask them, have you understood what I've been able to teach you? At the end, this time round, the child will be able to set the tempo. The teacher will only say that I want agriculture. And agriculture, we have 1, 2, 3, and then guide the pupils on how it should be done. So it is for the pupils now to be able to see the kind of facilities that have been made available and how those facilities can be used. And that is where the deviation is. The other one, standards. And when the TSC and those people will come to inspect, because we are monitoring and evaluation. When they come, tell them, is that they want also to see how teachers promote school health and safety. Because you have heard of schools where now fire breaks out, where now children, when they are at school, you are not even sure whether they will come back alive or they will be injured. It is now the responsibility of the teacher to ensure that once they come here, they should go back safe. These are standard, and it is there. The last one, and it's financial literacy, that teachers also, they are supposed really to know how to do some accounting. When you give them some work, they should be able to balance the equation and many more. That is the teacher. It is not me, but it is what it was decided. So this means that the teachers who are listening to me, is that we have to change the ball game. We have to change the way we have been doing it. This is what we call paradigm shift. We allow the pupils now to play a bigger role than what we are doing. So teachers have also to provide that environment so that they can be able to discover Can I go to another one? My people, can I move to the other one? Nionyeshe kwa mikono. Very good. I want now to come to you as parents. Now, parents, can I come to you? I want to say, given what I've said, is that parents have a bigger role to play. Because you have everything at stake for you. If you want the children to succeed, your child to succeed, then you have to change from the way you are doing things. Number one is that you have to provide them with the basic needs for them to be able to perform. Because if at home they come back here without being given even love, that is really so basic. At home, you should show them love. When they go to school, they will for sure perform. Parents, number two is that you should be able to guide your children. All the time, guide them on what you think is good. Next one, as parents, is that you should make them know that at least, that work should not be done for them. You allow them at least to take responsibility in whatever they do. They will start now seeing that although they are supposed to do something, the parents should tell them now proper responsibility has been placed on their shoulders. The other one on the side of parents, I'll not take long. I'm almost finishing because I said I've only 1 minute to go. That I'm just saying that parents, and you start now, is not to ask teachers, what have you done? And this has become so common. Myself, my children, all of them, they have finished university. And this is what I used to take Teacher Eunice. I go there and then ask her, what have you done to this one? She does not understand. The first one was a daughter, and the second one is a son. So I could go and ask her, almost goro her. Tell her, now you have taught this, and I've been paying school fees, and I'm not seeing a difference. My people, are we together? Because really, I want to make a point that it will be different. Because before, you could go to a school and say, I've spent so much money, so I want to see results. Yeah? Even if your child is not able, you want to see results. But this time round, the game has changed. If that child is not performing, you start with yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you have not done? Can you ask yourself, what is it? Because even when they are living here, you will see a reporting form. And quite a number of occasions, I said once again, I like men. If a child is performing well, that child belongs to the father. If the child is performing poorly, the child belongs to the mother. I want it to change, and I want it to change now. You ask yourself, even if it's the last child, you ask yourself, did you contribute to that performance? That is what is here. And that is what CBC is talking about. Your responsibility. Stand up to be counted. Is it not biblical also? To stand up to be counted and to be seen? If I'm not saying something, you tell me to stop. So this is to say that the parents have to take keen interest in what is going on at their school. Parents have to take keen interest to know really what is going on, so that at least you can be able to work together, so that at least you can help your children to move to the other level. And it is not academic alone, it is almost all round, so that at least you can be able to have a change. Now, as I move to the other one, I'm just saying this, and I said it earlier, that probably you may have to understand your child. And for sure, because you have seen that particular child grow, it is so important for you to be able to identify the interests of that child. For you to be able to identify the talent, but you don't force. And then you discuss it with the teachers. Don't go and ask the teacher, have you identified? Identify. The teacher will identify, and both of you will sit together and then say, I saw this. Did you also see this? Then with that one, you will assist the young one to grow and then acquire a talent. My problem is one. Suppose you have a child has double talents. and we only want one talent. Probably that can be negotiated. Niende kwa ingine? Ama nisimamishi hapo? I want to talk about now I want now to talk about the pupils, because I don't want to spend a lot of time, because even the notes that I have, I leave them behind so that they can also be able to look at some of the issues, because I will not be able to talk about everything, but I just want to talk about the pupils. These ones, the children, these ones, they have to be given courage from home, and they have to be told unaweza. Build that confidence that unaweza. Even if you see for sure, this one ni mkuwekelea mkono ndio aelewe. You have really to encourage them. It is through that encouragement that they can move to the other level. I want to say this, and that I say it with a lot of interest. There is one person, those people who have done history, called Churchill. He was a great prime minister in Britain. He failed 4 times, and the parents never gave up on him. He failed the first time, Form 4. He failed again the second time. He failed the third time, and the 4th time is when he managed to pass. Suppose that was your child. Could you have encouraged the child to move to the second year? Still, you tell him, now, I think now, you are almost there. The first one again fails. You again tell him, now, even this time around, I think you will be there. How many of us? And this is where we are. You look at these children. They may not be the same. There are some who are good, who can be able to understand, who can be able to do, but the others, you need to push them. They grow at different levels. There are some who are able to pick this very fast. The others will take time. But because as parents, we are not patient. We push them to the wall. So to the pupils, what is there? 8. That they need now to be put at the forefront, to be put at the deep waters. They need now to be exposed and to be allowed to experiment. At the home, when you find them playing with mud, when you find them still throwing stone left, right, and center, allow them, because it's through that they can be able to know. If you find them playing with kisu, allow them. Once they cut themselves, that is when they will know for sure this one is too sharp to be played with. That is to the extreme. But I'm saying, allow them, give them enough space to be able to experiment. Then finally, CBC will be seen in practice. My people, I want us to move together. Because if you see them doing something, and then you tell them you will be dirty, if you see them trying to do something, you tell them, now, I don't want you to be like this one. Probably that is where their interest is. Allow them to experiment. So in the class, they will now be the focal point. They will be setting the pace. They will be given assignments to do. And they themselves, they will be able to dictate, to decide on whether they can be able to succeed or not. The teacher's role is only to guide, is only to hold their hand, is only to show them. If that experimentation is not done, then it means we'll fail. And the teachers have really even to start walking the talk now, to shift the way they have been teaching them, so that at least now they put them at the front. They will be able to know this, they will be able to know the other. Munaona hiyo? So it means we have also to change our thinking, so that at least we can be able to move to the other level. And why it is so important, even for the government, for this one to succeed, is it has been tested elsewhere. Leave alone those people who are saying it is not good. Because I told you I was at KICD, at the source. And I've even checked elsewhere. This is the way to go. It is not a political statement, even to the president and others. It's not a political statement. If this nation has to move to the next level, then we have to go CBC. If we go back, then we shall not move to the next level. And for sure, it is important we make a decision and we move on. But for now, I want to put it the way CS puts it, that the train has already left the station. Whether we want it or we don't want it, CBC is here with us. So it is important for all of us to embrace it. If you don't know what is expected of you, it is important you ask than criticizing it. And criticizing it in front of these small ones. Even if you know for sure that you don't understand, don't tell them as a parent that really this one, he itaanguka. The moment they know you are a parent and you are telling them this one is not going anywhere, we shall lose it. So encourage them, even if wewe hujui, unawaambia, and I will consult and I will get back to you. And even the assignment that they will be doing, as a parent, you will have also to assist them because they are so critical if it has to move. So if they come at home and ask for money so that at least they can be able to buy this, to experiment on this, don't say, pesa yote imeenda kwa school fees. Hala, umeanza kuongea? Even before I give you permission. I'm almost finishing. I said I have only a quarter of a second to finish. Now, the other one is that school administrators, it's a totally different ball game together because they have now to consult the parents so that at least if there are materials, because I'm seeing a situation where, and I heard the head teacher saying we have materials, we have books. The answer is not yet. This is where now we need really to see if they have to experiment. What is it that you have to buy as a school administration? As administrators, what is it that you have to buy so that these pupils can be able to experiment and succeed? So it means that you have to go back to your pocket and then fish out something and then assist them to move to the next level. So this means that we have to go to the drawing board, all of us, so that at least we can be able to embrace CBC. And the last one, because I said some of my materials are here, I'll leave them with the school. I want to say the last one. There are people called non-academic members of staff. They have also a responsibility in a school. They should be given work to do. If there are materials to be bought, they are the ones. If there are materials to be taken care of, they are the ones. If they find the children doing 1, 2, 3, they should also be able to encourage them to do and do it well. What we don't want is the children to get injured because it's part of the standard set by TSC. If a child gets injured, it is not the parent, but it is one of the standards. TSC will come to you and ask you, did you read this? Because we want them to be better than when they came in. When they walk out of the gate, we want to see different people who have changed to CBC. I really want to breathe in. And then breathing out, because now is a question of finishing, because I was told only 1 minute and I have a second to go. I want to say this. I want to say this to the parents, that this CBC is a journey for all of us. And if we have to succeed, we have to play our roles. And we play them so effectively that all of us, when now we succeed, we shall come together and celebrate. Conclusion is that we have, all of us, we have to pull from the same direction if we want to see the success of our children. The moment some of you say, I don't want this because it involves money, I don't want this, it has come from the school, I don't want this, then we'll fail. Last but not least. Last but not, I want to say this. That that there is a class waiting for an examination. I want to wish that particular class all the luck that exists, and I know they will succeed. If others before them made it, I know for sure these ones will make it. And as I also conclude, You know, I'm told I can conclude as many times as possible. I'm told I can conclude as many times as these children, as they were singing here. They wished you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We may not meet again, and even if we meet, assume that I want to declare it publicly, that I've wished you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And in case you want us to talk about CBC, we shall still come here again, because that is when we'll have now, because now the problem is that we have different categories. We have parents, we have teachers, we have pupils. If it's a specific one, we can be able to deal with that, and the other one, and the other one. So with those very few remarks, because they are very few, with those very few remarks, I want to say thank you so much for listening to me, and God bless you.